we were just talking about Alia's new film, which I've also seen, and I will, of course, tell you more about
We're
it.
all waiting for your review. Like I said, I want to know what you thought about my film.
So, but more than just this film, I'm very interested and very curious about the fact of your having started um, a production house. And I think is there a new confidence that a new Bollywood really requires at this moment? Because someone like you who's below 30, who's 10 years in the movie business, so many films, when Priyanka and Deepika, Anushka, all of the top A-list leading ladies have all started the production houses because they want to tell the stories that they want to tell. So was that a thought in your head that you wanted to tell the story that nobody else was telling, which is why? Because it seems to me that all my years of covering the industry, there's always been this little dismissive note about ये तो एक women's issue पर film बनी है. Now I'm wondering why should it be women's issue, men issue? It's human, isn't it? So I'm very curious about the thought behind your film and the fact that you call it what you do.
Well, I'll start with why I call my production house Eternal Sunshine Productions. Well, you can say it's inspired by the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's a film that I really, really love. But actually, I've seen that movie only 2 times. It's not like I've seen that movie 180 times or I'm like, oh, I am obsessed with that movie. But there's something about the word eternal and sunshine that I feel just mean what cinema means to me. Like, I believe cinema is eternal and sunshine brings you warmth. Like, you think of a sunny, sunshine, full day, it brings you warmth, happiness, a warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart. And I feel that's the contribution that movies and content in cinema has had in my life. So I just felt it fit the words eternal sunshine. Coming to what are the kinds of stories that I would like to tell, I'm not somebody who feels कि मेरे को I want to tell something that is हटके जो कोई नहीं बोल रहा है वो मुझे बोल. Everyone is telling the same kind of story. We are actually since the eons being saying the same stories. The setup is different. There's the underdog story, then there's the love story, then there's the revenge story, then there's the fighting for your loved one story. I will tell that story in different settings, in different forms, because we are all telling the same stories.
But isn't that something of concern that you are telling the same stories?
No,
The
but
tropes, it's the tropes that people like us who are sitting on this side watching something unspool on cinema. And I'm again, very interested by the word you use, surprised. The script surprised you. We only want to be surprised. So,
absolutely. So telling the same stories, a familiar story in different ways. So that's what the endeavor is constantly for anybody trying to make a movie. But there is a certain um, misconception that, oh, they're trying to see, you can't be just different for the heck of being different. At the end of the day, you want to see something, there's something familiar in a character that you're connecting with, that okay, there is maybe this, the character wants to achieve something, not being able to achieve it. Okay, now I'm already invested in the character. Now you go through the character's journey of trying to achieve it, and then finally, does the character achieve it or not, and maybe after achieving it doesn't want it anymore. यही तो आंख है basically. But if you put it in every setting, you compare different films from Hollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood, Jollywood, whatever it is, it's the different language, a different setting, but the same story, because we are all actually telling the same stories. Even in our own personal lives, it's the same story. So, I mean, it's a over high concept thing that I'm saying, but what I want to say is I don't want to tell only women centric films. That's not what my endeavor is. I'll tell a story about a dog, about a cat, about a woman, about a man, about a father, about an uncle, about a dadi. I want to tell good stories. That's the endeavor. Stories that mean something to you, that maybe leave you with some lingering thought. Now, never say never. I'm not sure I would tell a story that doesn't teach you something. I don't know why. I just feel like, for me, whenever I've watched movies that leave me with a feeling like, I remember when I watched a movie like Wake Up Sid, for example, I suddenly wanted to become a photographer. Even if it was for 3 days, I wanted to become a photographer. So I'm like, okay, I love the fact that movies can, or cinema, or just content in general, even TV shows, can make you feel so like inspired and charged and can literally change your life. So if I can do that in some way with the content that I'm, you know, the content that I'm producing, then why not?
Yeah, but one little thing about, how a movie must have a message at the end of it, tagged in it, that again becomes reductive, isn't it? When you're talking about being inspired, I believe completely that movies can change your life. I
No, no,
believe,
not must
yeah.
have a message at the end of it is too much. Not even a message. It should just leave you with something. There may be, okay, there may be a resolution between two characters that may happen in the pre-climax that leaves you with something. There may be a beautiful romantic scene between the girl and the boy, or the girl and the girl and the boy and the boy in the first 15 minutes of the film that leaves you with something. But I feel like there has to be a takeaway, which is not just a time pass watch. That I'm not sure I want. The thing is, I also don't understand that kind of content, not from any other reason. I also think it's really hard to make that kind of content which is just like a really fun watch. I'm not sure I understand that, so I wouldn't be able to add anything to that.
But is your approach to cinema, is it coming from your commitment to the craft, your love for the craft, or do you even think about the fact that the kind of soft power you individually have today, you feel a sense of responsibility of doing something beyond just entertaining for those 2 hours?
Yes, absolutely. Try and make some point, some dialogue, or some moment that you really really feel can impact somebody's life, or leave you thinking about something. Like, it's basic, but yeah, I don't want to just be, then I'll tell a story about a pillar. I mean, I'm saying, otherwise what is the point? There has to be something which is either I'm like commenting about something that I feel very strongly about, or that I just feel like maybe I learned something from. I don't know. I think the stories come, and you just have to feel. Sometimes it just clicks, and sometimes it just feels right. But yeah, there's a like you said, there's a huge responsibility that you have. So you have to know what is the message. I mean, what is the kind of story you're telling, and what are you putting out there in the universe for somebody to see that.
Very interesting. And